Good afternoon, everyone. I've already done a recording this morning, but I did not like it. I had no idea what I was going to talk about, to be honest. I just did a waffle. But now, I know exactly what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Australian fights in the UFC coming up soon, because I'm half Aussie, and I fucking love it. Simple as. That's literally it. Now, obviously, we've just had the Robert Whittaker v Alice Gerald fight. That's 1-0 to the Aussies, boys. Fuck the Dagestanis, right? Fuck the Dagestanis off, yeah? It's all about the Aussies now. I don't give a shit, yeah? If Volk and Makachev have a trilogy fight, Volk is fucking winning, all right? This is the year for the Aussies, okay? Robert Whittaker's going to be the next middleweight champion. He's going to shit all over Dricus, smear it all in his... That's how dominant of a win it's going to be. Well, actually, he might not even be fighting Dricus. He might be fighting Izzy. The man's going to be hungry, okay? He's just lost twice to Izzy. He lost on decision and he got knocked out by Izzy, which lost him the world title. Now, a fight that I spoke about this morning, but I'm not going to upload it because it was so shit, was Taito Iwasa v Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Now, look, I absolutely cannot wait for this fight. I fucking love Taito Iwasa. It's just, he always makes for entertaining fights. Personally, I think Rozenstruik has the edge on it in a way, because I think Ty's had it a little bit harder in terms of matchups and opponents. Ty's on a 4-fight loss streak, okay? He's just lost to 3 elite fighters, okay? That being Cyril Gane, Alexander Volkov, and Sergey Pavlovich. And obviously, he just got submitted by Marcin Tybura. He's not had the best of run-ins. He obviously doesn't do as well against grapplers. He even came out and said, thank God that it's not a grappler that I'm fighting now. Now, you can also say that Rozenstruik's not in a very good run of form. He's won 2 out of his last 5 fights. I mean, since his emphatic win against Alistair Overeem, he's had 9 fights since then, and he's only won 4 of them. Losing to Cyril Gane, Alexander Volkov, Curtis Blades, and Almeida. But in between all of these losses, he's had a, in a way, redemption fight against an easier opponent, whereas Ty hasn't. I mean, I suppose Tybura was a step down. So Rozenstruik's just had a fight against Shamil Gaziev, a very dominant and one-sided fight. Gaziev was fucking terrible. There's no other way of putting it. He was terrible. Absolutely dominated on the feet. I mean, Gaziev coming into this fight was 12-0. If you've ever watched Gaziev before, the man has nothing. The man literally has nothing. And he got KO'd in the 4th round, but he didn't get KO'd. He forfeited, okay? He couldn't handle the pressure. He couldn't handle the damage he was taking. And I still think Rozenstruik could have done more. Could have got him out of there earlier. He could have been chopping at his lead leg. He could have been doing a lot more on the feet. And Gaziev, after about a round, was huffing and puffing, trying to catch his breath because he's so unfit and pudgy. So, in a way, Jairzinho Rozenstruik had it easy. Now, this is a very, I'd say, even matchup. They both have 14 wins. Taito Iwasa has 8 losses, and Rozenstruik has 5 losses. I'd say they're at a similar level. What I mean by that is I think they're as good as each other. I don't think they're up there as, like, world beaters, but I don't think they're down the bottom at the worst heavyweights at the moment. Like, I guess you could say they're not down there with the likes of Andrei Arlovski and Bidet. That fight fucking sucked on the weekend. Look, in the UFC, Rozenstruik has never won by decision or submission. He's only won by knockout. Let's be real, the man is a dangerous fighter. He is a force to be reckoned with. And we saw him pick apart Alistair Overeem in spectacular fashion. The way I look at it is, would Tuivasa have done the same thing to Alistair Overeem at that exact same point in his career? I don't think so. I don't think so. But since then, Ty has had a lot of incredibly tough fights, and there's a lot of learning experience that comes from those fights. I honestly have no clue whatsoever who is going to win that fight. It's going to be an absolute slugfest, all right? It's just going to be stand and banging. Both fighters don't really have any grappling background. So I think it's safe to say we're going to see a knockout, all right? It ain't going the distance. Not going the distance at all. We are in for an absolute banging heavyweight fight. And hold on, if I'm correct, that fight is on August the 17th, which will be on UFC 305. So not only do we have Taito Iwasa versus Rozenstruik, but we also have Adesanya versus Duplessis on the same night. Also, I think that card's been fully confirmed. I mean, Jesus, Ty's in fantastic shape. Anyway, moving on from Taito Iwasa versus Rozenstruik, we have some more Aussie fights coming up. Aside from Robert Whittaker, you know, fighting probably Sean Strickland or something at the end of the year and then going on to fight for the title, we have 2 Australians fighting each other, potentially. That being Kai France versus Steve Urchek. This is a tricky one for me because I don't want to see either of them lose. But if there is anyone that I want to see win, it's Probably Kai Kara France, because I've followed Kai Kara France for a lot longer than Urshek. I think I've watched Urshek twice, and obviously his most recent fight being against Pantoja, and I watched that as well. Very close fight. Like, the guy is talented. The guy has got a lot of skill. But I watched Kai Kara France on Tough, and I just love watching him fight. I never miss a Kai Kara France fight. I mean, I know he's coming off the back of 2 losses, but the guy fought Brandon Moreno, okay, for the title, and got knocked out in the 3rd round via head kick, I'm pretty sure it was. That was another fight that I watched as well. It's kind of at the start of when I was getting fully into the UFC. Like, what I mean by that is, like, when I was actually starting to be able to watch fights. I mean, because when he fought Cody Garbrandt, I was 15. So, yeah. And now I have a place in my house where I can just scream and shout and let it all out. Ooh. I want Kai Kara France to win that. But judging how Steve Urshek looked against Pantoja, I think Pantoja is going to win. But I don't actually think it will be as dominant as people would think it would be. I think it's going to be a tough fight on both ends. I mean, all of these fucking Aussie fights are so hard to judge. But I think I think Urshek's just got that edge on him. The guy just went 5 rounds with Pantoja. Personally, I think what lost him that fight was the last round. And I'm pretty sure that that is also going to be on UFC 305. I completely forgot that Kai Kara France was a Kiwi. But I still want him to win. But I think that Urshek walks away with that fight. Anyway, another Aussie fight we have is Justin Tafa versus Walter Walker. Tafa just got absolutely battered. Look, I think we know how this fight is meant to go. I think Walter Walker is going to be the man coming out of the octagon with his hand raised up. He has a record of 11-1. He has 6 knockouts, 1 submission, and 4 wins by decision. He's fighting fucking Junior Tafa. Well, everywhere on the internet is telling me the wrong things. Well, I mean, in that case, Junior Tafa's just come off the back of a loss. He's 5-2. A man with a lot less experience than Walker. So both fighters coming off the back of a loss. Walker's only had 1 fight in the UFC and he's lost it. That's it. Justin replaced Junior and got absolutely beaten the shit out of. It was hard to watch. I remember that. It was so hard to watch. That fight was fucking ridiculous. He just got the shit kicked out of his legs. If I'm thinking of the right fight. Anyway, I hope Junior walks away with the win, but I just don't think he will. Walker has twice the experience that Junior has. Both very similar ages, Junior being 27 and Walker being 26. But all 5 of Junior's wins have been by knockout as well. So he has to be careful on the feet, Walker. He has to be very careful on the feet. We also have Jenkins versus Tucker. I'm going Jenkins. I'm going Jenkins for the win. Both records almost the same. Jenkins being 12-3 and Tucker being 13-3. Jenkins is a much younger man by 8 years. Okay, he's 30 and Tucker is 38. Woo! He's just about taller and just about has a longer reach. Doesn't really mean anything. He has a higher striking accuracy and a very high takedown accuracy with 75%. Whoa! So that one will be good. And then we have Culibao versus Ramos. Culibao wins. Culibao fucking wins. The only way I see Culibao losing that fight is if he gets taken down. His takedown average is 0. His takedown accuracy is 0 because he doesn't fucking do any takedowns. But I think he wins on the feet. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and smash that notification bell to be updated with more content. I do daily content, sometimes 2 videos a day, so keep your eye out for that. There's a link in the description for my Amazon wishlist. If you would like to go and check out my Amazon wishlist and help out the channel, feel free, but you do not have to, okay? There's absolutely no pressure on doing that whatsoever. Anyway, guys, I've been the Not So Combat Specialist because I suck balls. See you later.